So, hey everybody, how are you? Today's conversation is just a reminder about grace and how grace is the partnership that we're hoping in your accountability. So, again, I believe from a prosperity mindset that accountability isn't just get your stuff done. Accountability to me is a lot more magical than that. And it's a lot more magical because it's a tool for you to start building harmony within yourself and all the parts of yourself, because people are complex. And as you kind of go through your life, you go, wow, I want more. It is so much more, but it's complex. This is living in this society at this era with this many choices is the most complex that we have ever been in humanity. So there is a compassionate side to growing at this rate. And we've talked about it as transformation, but I really want to talk about it as partnership with grace. So again, I believe that accountability is really a tool that allows you to find harmony in all parts of yourself. So that might be the physical, spiritual, emotional, financial. For some of you, it's devotional. Some of you, it's sensual. Some of you, it's creative. Some of it's whatever it is defining all the parts of yourself that you are working on. And then it is coming at them with a point of goodwill, with humanity, with understanding. When we look at grace, that is tenderness, that is a gentleness, that is warm-hearted, that is speaking life over your life. Patience. You want to be working on the things that are uniquely of your journey. And sometimes grace is about giving yourself permission to really look at what it is that you want and what is the freedom that your desires give you. And it's really looking at the internal conflict around those things and then looking at that conflict with affection. So when I talk about grace, it's even looking at the hard parts that are sticky and dodgy and difficult and really giving them a little bit of solace. And what I mean by that is being a little more broad-minded about the things that are obstacles for you, to really look at them with a softer heart and not looking at all of your flaws as being a terrible thing. That there are a lot of things. Well, first of all, we all know how many times I fail. For those of you who follow me on social media, you know that things don't always work well for me. So that is the grace that I gave myself many years ago, was I didn't have to be the smartest person in the room. I don't have to know all the answers. And failure is not necessarily a measure of who I am as a human being or what my views are, what my role is here. And it's not yours either. That because I failed at something means I failed at something. It didn't mean that I am a piece of failure. So when you are starting to look at grace is again bringing comfort to your own process, bringing helpfulness to your own process. That means asking others to help you in your process. That means giving yourself some sympathy of going, wow, this is actually way harder than I thought. I have made some goals because I just pull them out of the sky, and then I get into them and I'm like, man, this is hard. Okay, how about a little sympathy for the fact that I'm always overestimating what I can get done, and I'm underestimating how long it takes. Let me give a little grace in that. Let me build a little time in my system. Let me do some other things that give me the way to get through my own goals, my own accountability process. Because a little bit of compassion just makes you feel like getting up and going again. A little bit of grace, right? It is to also give grace to the fact that you're writing goals. That when you go, I want these things, that is to say that you will look upon your own desires in favor, that you will give those things the help they need. That when I say to people, you are learning to keep promises to yourself, but you're also learning to give yourself kindness, benevolence, grace. Grace. And grace oftentimes is that generosity, that indulgence, that if you want that thing, go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that. It's okay. There is kindness, there's benevolence in saying, I will speak truth. I will speak life over my life. So as you're going through the 12-week year, one of the things that I remind everybody about is that you are learning to partner with you. You're doing it in a group setting, but you are learning to partner with you. You are learning that your highest S self is saying, you will keep a promise. If you said you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And that is learned behavior. That is a practice. That's why rituals are a big deal. That's why having systems in place, getting a habit together, that's why all of those things happen, because it is the backing of what gives strength to the errand of the goal. Let me rephrase that, right? Let me say it again. You need that backing to get through the errand that you have chosen as your goal. So it's not just like, I need you to be nicer to yourself. I need you to be nicer to what it is that you are here to create, to give that not just a goodwill gesture, but to truly give it the help and the governance to be able to come and fruit for you, that you can be trusted with your own dream. Not that someone else can be trusted with your dream, but you can be trusted with your own actions. And that's what you're learning. And that's a learned behavior. And that is super hard to do by yourself. That's why you need to come to class. That's why it is helpful to be together, because the action itself requires a reward. And sometimes that's hard to do for just you. But it's a lot easier to do when you are in an environment that supports you to be great. And that is, if there's one thing that you can say that I will do well, it is to hold a group through transformation. And that's why I'm glad you're here. See you soon.